Hello, good morning, testing. Right, good evening to those in America. Yes, that's America time zone that I'm catering for actually today. I've been up slightly earlier. I have insomnia, right? I slept late. I woke up early. So yeah, you can guess how this is. And my morning started off with my client renting off and just basically being a bitch. I just want to be like done with all my clients right now. But anyways, that's for a chapter for me to think later on whether I want to move on with my life and do something else rather than private tutoring, because these parents that I'm taking are just not working out. Right, anyways, enough about my life. Today we're gonna go into the WPC. So just a heads up, if you see the thumbnail of this, Webnovel has changed their logo. Yeah, so a lot of the book covers that have the previous Webnovel logo, yeah, they're kind of irrelevant right now. And not gonna lie, it kind of looks a little bit like Netflix. Let me see. Yeah, it kind of looks a little bit like Netflix, because you know Netflix has like the red N in a circle or something. Yeah, WN, that N, a little bit kind of similar to Netflix. I don't know why they're gunning for this, but it's very apparent what kind of money they want to earn. Definitely not the people from Asia. Yeah. Right. So because Webnovel has been going through with an influx of books and new writers from all over, they no longer need new content as desperately as they did before. However, for some kind of show purposes that they care about new writers, these are the competitions for you. So the WSA competition for 2023, which is the Spirity Awards, is going to be ending this month, but they have opened opportunities for people who are late to that. So this is an entry level competition for writers who have not written before and who don't want to write 200,000 words like right off the bat, because they have a contract thing, right? That's the exclusive contract. Yeah, you need to sign that in order to actually get paid by Webnovel in a sense. So if you want to get the minimum guarantee scheme thingy that they also changed to be a little bit more dramatic, because you have to earn like a minimum of, I can't remember, is it 60 USD? Yeah, I think it's a minimum of 60 USD before they actually give you payouts at all, and their payouts are kept at USD 200. So you have to hit like the minimum USD 200 before they give you any money out of their wallet, their e-wallet that you supposedly earn. So what I would suggest for new writers is don't sign a contract. You can participate in this, but if you happen to be one of the top winners and you want to keep the copyrights, you don't sign an exclusive contract. Check with the editors if there is something called a non-exclusive contract, because that will mean you get to keep your publishing rights to the work and you can post it elsewhere, like for example Amazon, right? But in any case, so this is the competition in itself. Today is not really today, it's this month and next month's theme. So October and November. Like previously they did it once every 2 weeks and then once every month, and now it's once every 2 months. So in a way, it's better for writers who have an early head start, and those who didn't know about it can join in later, because it's not difficult to qualify for this. You only need to write 5,000 words. But here's what I would suggest. Alright? Continue writing even after 5,000 words. Don't just leave it there, because it's a work that you want to finish, correct? It doesn't matter if it's short, it doesn't matter if it's like 20,000 words or anything. You want to gain a following, and the only way to gain a steady following on Webnovel in itself is to have consistent updates. When I say consistent, I mean because Webnovel is really that sweatshop where people grind. They're so sweaty. The writers there are so sweaty. I bet their keyboards have like all those fingerprints and yeah. But anyways, it is best. Okay, don't be shocked. It is best to upload chapters on a daily basis, because there are some really sweaty writers up there, including those in the ranks. They do it twice a day, okay? Like once every 12 hours. Those people are crazy. I don't need you to go to the extent of writing daily if you can't, but try at least once a week, right? Once a week is okay for the editors to know that, hey, the writer hasn't dropped this book by the time of the end of the 2 months. If you do it once a week, right, that's gonna be like 8 additional chapters on top of the 5,000 initial words for qualifying. Yeah. So that is something, but it is best if you can do about 3 times a week. Yep, 3 times a week. So it's like 3 times 8. That's already 24 chapters. It's probably going to be longer than anything else you've ever written in your life. And guess what? You're actually able to finish writing an entire book in 24 chapters. But here's the catch, right? For some of us who moved from self-publishing or from traditional publishing, you know that a chapter is from 3 to 5,000 words, sometimes even longer, right? There are 10,000 word chapters. Yes, I know, because I was there. I started from there before I moved over. But no, please don't do the mistake of that, okay? Web novel paces its chapter very, very, very differently. The minimum for one chapter is 1,000 words, which is about one scene if we're talking about traditional publishing, right? About one scene. But okay, that is for the FL community. It is best to keep it at like 1,005 to 2,000-ish words, right? 2,000 words per chapter is like the general guideline for an ML novel. So what do I mean by FL and ML? Okay, you can check it out. My e-course is in the links, descriptions below and everything, right? FL generally means romance-centric, right? It is targeted for female readers. ML means male leading, which is targeted to male readers, or rather what we would say is everything else that is not romance. So here we have two different themes, you see, apocalypse and weak too strong. So neither of these sound like FL themes, but yeah, there is one. So basically fantasy theme is apocalypse, right? So apocalypse, we all know what this is. You got your zombie, you got your Daisy, you got your all your whatever, you know, the end of the world. It can be post-apocalypse. It can be apocalypse, it can be post-apocalypse. There are many things you can do with that, right? Not gonna lie, this one is pretty mainstream. So you can combine this idea with many mainstream web novel tropes, like for example System. Oh god, that is like the most well, what do I say? The most popular? I don't know, man. It used to be popular. It probably still is popular, but it's so mainstream right now, it's not special. It can be apocalypse, but cultivation. And that's a very niche. And that is something that would work on web novel itself. It can be apocalypse, but dungeons. It can be apocalypse, but I don't know, magic realism, something else, you know? Just bring it all in, right? It can be apocalypse, but MMORPG, like virtual reality and stuff like that. Gaming, maybe it can be gaming, I don't know. Like there are so many things. They even gave you like examples over here. The links for the competition itself is gonna be in the description below here, alright? So for example, infinite mana in the apocalypse, and re-apocalypse game, or I stack attributes in the apocalypse. Can you see all these? Yeah, these are like references that web novel gives because they want to see similar works out there, even more of it, you know, just to fish for all the readers who are addicted to one genre. And then, you know, like how YouTube recommends you similar videos of what you've watched, and then you go down the rabbit hole. Yeah. Web novel is trying to do something similar in that sense. So apocalypse is ML, and then we have our FL themes for the 2 months. The FL theme is actually weak too strong. So okay, this weak too strong is not a plot setting, it's not a world building setting, kind of like apocalypse. Weak too strong is kind of a little bit more towards a character trait that people like to see. So it can be anything, but it has to be weak to strong. So I'm assuming over here that the main character is starting from the bottom, at the journey is at the bottom, right? So they're like a weak nobody, a loser and whatever. And then when they say strong, they mean overpowered in the sense whereby they can bitch slap anyone and get away with it just because they are there, you know? So that is the general idea and the general gist of what the romance wants. So weak to strong. Some of the things that you can do is, for example, like royal romance, you can mix it in. So for example, not all royalties were born with power, right? But how do they rise to power? So that's the question of weak to strong. Obviously it's gonna revolve around romance. Another one that's really great, anything with power basically is great. For example, mafia. For example, it can be even like supernatural in itself, like you're a level E vampire, now you gotta become a vampire king, which is level SSS. How you gonna do that? Yeah, it is up to you, really. It is up to you. to write what you want, but mix it in with something else that already exists on Webnovel that readers are just hungry for. It can be like a werewolf kind of thing when you are a pack omega and then you have to become a pack alpha or something like this. I don't know, man. Go crazy, go wild, do a lot of things in there. Or it can be like, you know, leveling in the game system just to get my girlfriend to notice me or something like that. It could be that way as well. Anything with power centric that you can level up is gonna be good. So this is the weak to strong FL thing that's going on right now. But yeah, so they have a lot of things. The examples that they've given here, titles are Stolen by the Rebel King, My Ex-Husband Wants Me Back After 3 Years of Divorce, The Masked Prince. So yeah, you have all these ideas out there that Webnovel gives you, so you can actually use them a little bit in there. I see there are, wow, there are 15 pages of entries for this weak to strong theme. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. It doesn't have to be political. It can be simple, alright? Keep it simple. For first time writers, always keep it simple. Alright, I'm just gonna peek. What's the number of entries? Oh my god, it's 29 pages for Apocalypse. Right. Okay, so things to know. If you're a first time writer for WPC, you want to also know that Webnovel has this 5,000 words thing for two reasons, alright? It's not just the qualifying thing that the content editors need to, like, you know, assess the quality and like the structure and the plot outline of your novel that's ongoing, but also because of vetting. So bots are a thing on Webnovel itself, right? In order to be seen visibly or publicly where people can actually find your book without a direct link drop, yeah, you need to wait for a little bit, because the content editors are going to go through every single newly updated or newly created book in order to say that this is not made by a bot and this is not plagiarized, etc, etc. So give them some time, give them about a week or two. It could be longer if there is a major competition going on. For example, Webnovel Spirity Awards competition. It happens every year and it runs for 6 months, and there's a grand prize of like 10,000 USD, right? There will be like a ton of writers. On the day itself that it begins, there will be like a ton of books, so the Webnovel editors can get to, like, you know, it takes some time for them to vet through this, right? But now because it's coming towards the end, so I suppose that the process would be a little bit faster towards the end. If your work does not have at least 5,000 words and it is not vetted, so it will not appear. I think from the last time, I've not been writing on Webnovel for a while now, if you can see. So yeah, from the last time that I know, it will not be appearing on the list itself. On the list of works that are new and whatsoever, yeah, it won't appear in there. So it's important to get the 5,000 out first. So what you do for new writers, okay, after you've outlined your drafts and everything, after you went to Canva and made your very pretty book cover according to the size specifications of Webnovel, you've uploaded all those stuff, right? And then you start writing. Okay, the first things that you should do is make sure that you write at least 5,000 words and publish them all at one time. So don't wait to do it daily, right? Don't wait to schedule your chapters daily, just do it all at once, alright? Because it takes time for the content editor to actually vet through this and say, okay, this is a legitimate book. You want your book visible ASAP. So you don't want to waste time and wait 5 days. For example, if every chapter is 1,000 words, you schedule one for every day, it's gonna be 5 days. Don't make the mistake of doing that. Immediately publish the first 5,000 words chapters consecutively. And then from there on, you can relax the pace a little bit and pace it out like once, at least one chapter a week. You know what I'm talking about? At least one chapter a week, so that you have that consistency of the followers. And also a cheap tip, alright? It's a legal hack, because you are not cheating with bots, you're not paid to win. You can vote for yourself, alright? Remember to vote for yourself daily for your book, so that it gets to like the higher ends of the chart. Because if there are 29 pages of people writing the book for Apocalypse, you don't want to scroll all the way into page 14 to find your works, do you? And I can tell you for sure, like, okay, I'm seeing over here the votes, right? The top vote over here is 1,019 Power Stones or something like that. Or is it collections? I can't remember. But anyways, you want to vote it because, okay, if I were to scroll all the way down, okay, page 29 has 0 collections over there, 0 votes and whatsoever. So, okay, you want to have, you can easily, okay, look, if you start voting from whenever you start. In 1 week, okay, imagine that you only have 1 power stone, right? So that's 7 power stones. On page 27, the people are still at 0 power stones. Some at 1 power stones. Alright, I'm gonna scroll through until I see 7 in itself. Alright, about page 18 or page 19, there's 7 power stones. So that can be easily done within 1 week. If you started writing in the middle of October, you can definitely beat all these people in terms of votes. And you can definitely get ahead, a little bit ahead in terms of visibility, because the number of votes when sorted through, alright, people actually go from top to bottom. They don't want to go from bottom to top. So continue voting for yourself. That is a hack. For new writers, I mean. You have a Webnovel account is not just meant for writing, it's also meant for reading. So don't forget that, take advantage of it, vote for yourself. And if you have friends, okay, for the luxuries, for those who are more, you know, lucky and you have friends, get your friends to vote for you as well. Or better still, just steal their Webnovel account and vote for yourself. Alright? Okay, so I think I've basically covered most of these things. If you want to know more on tips to getting ahead of Webnovel's WPC in itself, I have one in Unit 5. Tips to win WPC on Webnovel. So it is possible. Why? Because I know many authors, seasoned authors who know how this works, they apply it, and chances are they usually win. So you're actually competing, okay? If you're a new writer, know that you are also competing against writers who are already established on Webnovel for the past few years. They're not just only going to have a following that already exists on Webnovel, but they're also going to be, you know, knowing the tricks of the trade with connections that you don't have. So yeah, your aim when you join a Webnovel competition is not to win, okay? I'm just gonna put it out here really clearly right now. If you think I'm joining the competition because I want to win, I want money, then screw it. Just don't write. Because the chances are 99% of you will fail. Not because you're terrible at writing, but because you don't know how Webnovel works yet. It's not gonna work first time. Unless you're like extremely lucky, yeah. Otherwise, high chances you're gonna flop. You're gonna have to fail like the first few books to learn from experience first before you know how toxic this place is and what to do, what not to do, what to avoid, who to talk to. Yeah, until you know all of those, I would suggest not bringing in hopes for winning, alright? That's all I can say. Any questions so far? So I've gone through the basics of what this WPC is. I purposely shifted this to an American time zone, but apparently I've taken too long of a hiatus, so nobody is here. If there are no questions, then I shall end the stream in a bit, because I've said everything I need to say. For all you new writers who find this, yes, these are the tips. Help yourself, alright? I've already made all the materials here because for years people have been like, oh, Aitsuji, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I was like, I have no time to answer all your questions one by one individually. That's how the live stream started, right? And then because live stream is a time zone thing and people are like, oh, I couldn't get to ask my questions and stuff like that. So I made an FAQ on my blog. And then the FAQ on the blog just grew longer and longer and longer. And eventually, it turned into a free e-course for all of you, okay? So I'm not taking it down. I am shifting the contents page from Patreon to Ko-Fi, but that's the only thing that's gonna change, alright? The blogs are still the same. I may need updating though. So today I just updated something. What is the thing that I updated? Oh yeah, I updated the ML and FL thingies for the platform things. Yeah, so I don't write a lot of platforms. I don't write in a lot of platforms for a main reason, okay? Because those smaller platforms don't give you traction, right? They don't have readers in there for you to actually get your book out to. So they can promote all they want. They can feature you on the top page every day. And you're not gonna gain a single reader from that, alright? That's because they don't have a following. So, play smart. I only redid my list for 2023 for the big ones. So the top 3 big ones that I think would be worth looking into a little bit. Yeah, that's what I did. So I updated that. But the full list of whatever Jangs, they're all there. They're all there, right? Like for example, Tapas novels. Tapas is great for comics, not for novels. And if it's a novel, and if it's not BL or FL, chances are it's gonna be very hard. Like, you know, there was one that actually took off from there, But at the same time, that is the only exception of novels. It started as a comic. It's the comic that made that novel viral. That's all I'm gonna say. So tapas is great for creators. I like their style, I like their culture and everything, but it's not taking off because they don't have that reader base for novels like they do for comics. That's the difference, which is why it didn't make it into my 2023 list when I reviewed all the platforms. Yeah. Any questions? No questions. I'm seeing no questions so far. Right, it's a very short stream. Good morning to those in Asia and good evening / good night for those in America. So I will not do an America time zone ever again because firstly, I can't fucking wake up. Secondly, none of you showed up. So yeah, I suppose it's there. Right, I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, the next round is actually not with WPC. I have prepared a little something. I'm gonna like pre-drop this in advance, right? It's gonna be a reading stream. It's gonna be a read and react stream, but here's the catch. You know what I write? I write ML, I write FL, I write BL. And the contents of the thing that I intend to read is neither ML or FL. So yeah, congratulations, that's all. I'll see you guys again. Bye-bye!